Let me say to you, science tells us that the climate is changing, and then human activity in some manner impacts that change. The ability to measure with precision the degree and extent of that impact and what to do about it are subject to continuing debate and dialogue, and well, it should be.
Do you believe we have to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to do what the scientific community is telling us in order to make sure that this planet is healthy for our children and grandchildren?
Senator, I believe that the administrator has a very important role to perform in regulating CO2. And if it involves a particular matter with a specific party, then recusal would potentially be in order. And I would follow the guidance and counsel of
I just
EPA
think this is a clear line for the American public, given your record from Oklahoma in suing the EPA on all of these matters, that if you don't agree to recuse yourself, then again, you become plaintiff, defendant, judge, and jury on the cases that you're bringing right now as Attorney General of Oklahoma against the EPA.
The regulatory zeal of the last 8 years has violated a fundamental principle of environmental stewardship, which is do no harm. This failed environmental leadership has contributed to two of the worst government-created environmental disasters in decades, the Gold King mine spill and Flint, Michigan's water crisis.
Did you even file one lawsuit on behalf of those kids to reduce the air pollution in your state and help them to have a healthy life?
Senator, I've actually provided a list of cases to the chairman with respect to enforcement steps we've taken in multiple pieces of environmental litigation. But let me say to you, with respect to cross-state air pollution and some of the cases you referred to, the state has to have an interest before it can bring those cases, as you know. You can't just bring a lawsuit if you don't have standing, if there's not been some injury to the state of Oklahoma.
We've had children die in New York City because none of their teachers, no administrators in their schools knew what to do when a child has an asthma attack. It's a huge problem. So I need you to care about human health and really believe that the cost when human health is at risk, when people are dying, is far higher than it is the cost to that polluter to clean up the air.
If you'll show the graphic, these are all the same groups that I've been asking about in terms of your fundraising for the Rule of Law Defense Fund. And, you know, there's Murray Energy, and there's Southern Company, and I'm sure the American fuel petrochemical manufacturers represent a lot of the others. As I understand it, we know nothing, no minutes, no statements, no reports about what took place in those meetings that are described as private meetings on a sheet that is stamped confidential, correct? We know nothing about the content of those meetings.
Senator, I didn't generate the document. I know nothing about how that document got generated or what.
Are you denying that those private meetings took place?
No, Senator, I just didn't generate the document and don't know about the content other than what you've represented.